Now a CBS 2 Investigators exclusive. His name was Nate Bronstein, a 15-year-old boy with a promising future, enrolled at one of the most prestigious private schools in Chicago. That is, until his parents say he became the victim of relentless cyberbullying and took his own life. Now, in this exclusive interview with CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey, his parents allege the Latin School of Chicago could have done more to stop it.
So I still can't process it.
Rose and Robert Bronstein never fathomed
he definitely wanted to go to a college that had big-time sports.
That they'd be speaking about their son, Nate.
He loved to make people laugh and laugh himself.
In the past tense.
It's a toxic culture, so toxic that we lost our son from it.
Their 10th grader, super sharp, funny kid, a pillar in their family of 5. A new transfer last fall to the Gold Coast's Latin School of Chicago. But he was bullied by his classmates to the point that he didn't want to live to see his future.
It had been kept from us. So that's why we were completely taken off guard when this happened.
The Bronsteins had concerns about their son adjusting to a new school, and according to a 68-page lawsuit just filed in the Circuit Court of Cook County, they raised those concerns repeatedly with administrators. But according to the filing, they had no idea about the extent of the cyberbullying that tormented Nate.
I do know.
But the Bronsteins say Latin did.
Our son would still be alive today if Latin would have done their job and reported to us what had gone on within the school.
That's because they were never told that on December 13th, 2021, Nate asked for a meeting with his dean of students to report that several students were bullying him via a text message thread provided to CBS 2 and on Snapchat. One of those Snapchats, according to the lawsuit, encouraged Nate to kill himself. Another used a phrase that's understood to be an indirect death threat. The dean listened, but took no disciplinary action, according to the filing. And exactly 1 month later, Nate's father found him hanging from a shower in the bathroom in their home, a noose tied around his neck. Again, he was just 15.
We would have known and we would have protected him. He'd still be here today.
It wasn't until after Nate died that his family was made aware of the texts, the Snapchats, the taunting from another parent at Latin. And that's a problem, a legal one in the state of Illinois. Illinois General Assembly Public Act 098-0669 requires that every school in the state, including private schools, have an anti-bullying policy. That policy must include information about how bullying should be reported, how it's to be investigated, and that bullying incidents must be reported to the parents of those involved.
When there's an alleged incident of bullying, they are supposed to notify the parents of both parties involved.
Vito Mendez, one of the leading experts in the country on state anti-bullying laws and their effectiveness, confirmed Latin was legally required to report the meeting to the Bronsteins. Anna Mendez is the executive director of the National Association of People Against Bullying, and she can speak to why notification is so important. Her son Daniel's school knew about his bullying, but she was never notified until after he took his own life in 2009. He was just 16.
It's one of my biggest regrets that I live with to this day is, why was I not contacted? Why was I not told?
In the weeks and months following Nate's death, students, parents, even a current employee of the school reached out to tell the family they were not alone in their concerns about an alleged cover-up culture at Latin. You don't have to look much farther than Instagram to see public testimonials to that effect. The Survivors of Latin Instagram account is a public account with close to 3,000 followers, and according to the creator, the 121 pages worth of stories involve anti-blackness, xenophobia, racism, classism, sexual assault, homophobia, transphobia, and misogyny.
Look, our son was 15, and his perception of what he can or can't handle isn't necessarily accurate. But that's why the policies exist, and that's why now the law exists to involve parents. The school has to err on the side of a lot of transparency.
To be clear, the family isn't suing Latin for money. They've pledged to donate any money gained through legal proceedings to anti-bullying and anti-suicide charities. They say they're speaking out because remaining silent would disrespect their son's memory.
You can't allow this to go on because it's going to happen to another child.
A son they never got to watch grow up, but they hope they might give other parents the chance to step in.
We need transparency into what they did and didn't do while he was a student there and after the fact, because if this can be allowed to just be swept under the rug, then it's going to happen again, and we're not going to be complicit in that.
Latin sent us a statement saying their hearts go out to the family, but with, quote, respect to their lawsuit. However, the allegations of wrongdoing by the school officials are inaccurate and misplaced. They said right now they are not going to comment on specific allegations, but called the claims, quote, unfounded. In the newsroom, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.
Megan, thank you. If you or someone you know may be having thoughts of suicide, the National Suicide Prevention number right there on your screen, 1-800-273-8255. Again, 1-800-273-TALK.